Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today I wanted to talk again about emotions because this seems to be a topic that's been pretty frequent and lots of comments in this area. So today I wanted to talk about this. Why learning the lesson is key to releasing emotions. So I'll get to that in a minute. It's getting late, Saturday night here. So you're seeing this on a Sunday. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. Got an anxious dog next door, so forgive that. Hope everybody's well. Know you're well. Just a matter of time before you teach your brain that fact. So, why understanding or learning the lesson is key to releasing emotions. And so, I think when we have a really heavy emotional charge from a past experience, there's a general sense that if I hold on to that emotion, that's going to keep me safe from it happening again. So if you're holding on to anger or resentment from something somebody you love did to you that hurt you, we think that that emotional charge is what's going to keep me safe from that person doing that thing again. But think about it. Is it truly the emotion that keeps you safe? Or is it looking back and saying, well, what did I learn from that experience? Because I will tell you, the lesson is what keeps you safe from that situation happening again and again. Perfect, simple example. 5-year-old's playing with the ball in his driveway. The ball bounces into the street and he runs out after it without thinking. And a truck slams on their brakes, screeching tires, and the kid looks up and the truck's grill stops right here. Kid freaks out, right? Scared. More so, the mother, the father, they come screaming at the kid, oh my God, you almost died, or you gotta be careful, blah, blah, blah. Very traumatic experience for both the parents and the child. Now, let me ask you a question. 10 years later, is the emotion of fear what keeps this child safe? Or is it the lesson, don't play in traffic? I'm here to contend that you don't have to go through life afraid of trucks in order to stay safe. All you have to do is get the lesson that says, don't go running into traffic. Don't go running into roads. Look both ways. Be careful. The lesson is absolutely what will keep this child safe for the rest of their life. Every time he sees a truck, he doesn't need to get into fear and panic. Every time he has to cross the street, he doesn't have to freak out. All he has to do is remember the lesson. Don't play in traffic. Let me be careful. Look both ways. The lesson is what keeps us safe, folks, not the emotional charge. So by finding the lesson from our past traumas, our past really heavy emotions, by finding the lessons, we can let go of the emotional charge. So think about relationships. Let's say you had a difficult relationship with somebody and there was a lot of really intense emotions. Do you have to hold on to those emotions to stay safe? No. The lesson is, there was a lot of red flags. I did not leave soon enough. The lesson says, I'm going to see those red flags sooner and I will not get into another similar relationship. The emotion of fear and trauma and hurt and anger doesn't keep you safe from getting into another situation like that. The lesson is what will keep you safe. So think back to things that you're still holding on to the emotional charge, whether it be consciously or subconsciously. What are the things that are really triggering to you? And do you need to hold on to that emotional charge? Every time you think of it, it's like, Or can you look back and say, well, what can I learn from that experience? And you can do this as an adult. So, tough example, but imagine you were abused as a child. What's the lesson that this adult can take by looking back at that childhood experience? Well, It had nothing to do with me. I was just an innocent kid in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's not my fault. I don't have to carry that. The guilt, the shame, the self-judgment, any of that. The lesson is, it was never about me. It was always about the person doing the abuse. And the other lesson is, it's no longer happening. So I can let go of the emotions. I can let go of those traumas. I can let go of the triggering experience because I know it was never about me. It wasn't my fault. I can let go of the guilt, the shame, the hurt, the traumas. And I can reassure myself that I'm actually okay now. Look, a lot of people debated with me in the comments about my "do we have to do deep emotional work" video. And some people said, yeah, we do. You know, sometimes we do have to sit with the emotions. So if you're going to do it once. Allow yourself to sit with it. Really sit with it. Feel those heavy-duty emotions from that past event. Feel it. Oh. And then ask yourself, what's the lesson? Had nothing to do with me. I was just a kid that got abused by whatever. You know, a parent that was out of control, who was probably damaged themselves. Doesn't mean we're letting them off the hook. It just means like I'm letting myself off the hook. It was never about me. It was always about them. And so do you see how finding the lesson, and the lesson will keep you safe. Do you see how that can allow you to really let go of the emotional charge and minimize the impact of future triggers, really throwing you into a bad place? Ask yourself, if you're getting triggered by old stuff, ask yourself, what's the lesson there? What can I learn from it? Get the lesson and know with certainty that the lesson is what will keep you safe. Very similar to the child who ran into the street. He doesn't have to be afraid of trucks for the rest of his life. But he does have to remember the lesson. Don't play in traffic. Don't run haphazardly into the street without looking both ways. Let the ball get run over, not you, right? That's the lesson. The lesson will keep you safe. Whether you're playing in your local neighborhood or trying to cross a busy street in New York City, you don't have to be terrified. You just have to remember the lesson, right? So this applies to virtually any situation that holds an emotional charge for you or gets triggered anytime something remotely similar comes up. Ask yourself, what's the original story and what lesson can I take out of it that will keep me safe from this experience again? Play around with that a little bit. Ponder it. And maybe even go back through and say, all right, I'm going to go through and see what really heavy emotional experiences did I have and what lesson can I grab from it. Take the lesson, drop the emotion, and you may find that this is a very freeing exercise. I want you folks to try this, and I do want you folks to let me know in the comments as to how this goes. You may have your initial impression as you're listening to this video, but if you try it, come on back to this video and comment again, or withhold your comment until you try it, and see if you can figure out what's some of the strongest emotional charges you've been carrying around for a long time. Ask yourself, what can I learn from that experience? And with that lesson locked down, do I need the emotional charge to keep me safe? No, I don't. So experiment with this. I know it's not a be-all, end-all trauma type of a process, but I think this can be extremely useful in allowing the old emotional charges to stop from being triggered so easily. Because even if they are, you'll say, but I know the lesson. Don't play in traffic. Or, it wasn't about me. That person was X, Y, and Z, damaged, broken themselves. Wasn't about me. Bad place. Wrong time. But I'm okay now. I'm safe now. See how this can work? So, experiment with it. Give it some thought. Let me know your opinions. Would love to hear from you. And as always, folks, love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.